Hi and welcome to Beducation. I'm Jeff Shire, America's Beducator, and today we're going to take a look at the Leggett & Platt Raven Power Foundation. Now, a few tips if you're setting this up by yourself at home. The first thing is look for the H on the top of the box. That denotes the head of the power foundation unit. So you want to make sure that it's properly oriented within your master bedroom. Sometimes it's a bit of a hassle to switch things around from the head to the foot section once you have everything put together. The other thing to note is the proper orientation of the box itself. You want this so that the lid lifts off the top. You don't want it upside down. One way to note that, besides looking for the H at the top of the box, is on the front facing of the box, make sure that you can read the print, that it's not upside down. Now let's take a look at what's on the inside. Once you take the lid off the top of the power foundation box, you'll notice a few things on the inside. The first will be a quick setup guide. Take a look at this. Very easy to put these things together, but we'll still go over everything. You'll also notice a box that has a few things on the inside. It's going to have your remote control, your power unit, your total manual, as well as the legs to screw in. Now, the power unit itself is still going to be attached to the brain, so it's a quick disconnect clip. I'll just undo that, slide it open. That way we can take the box out of here. I'll show you everything that's on the inside. Then you also have your mattress retaining bracket. This is held on with a zip tie, so we'll want to get rid of that. And that's really the disassembly of everything that's attached on the inside. It will be covered in plastic, obviously, to keep it clean, but we'll take care of that once we have everything put together and we flip the unit over. Now let's take a look at what's on the inside of the box right here. Here's the power unit that I was telling you about. And again, I disconnected this. It was already connected via the quick connect clip. So here's the cord that comes from the brain. Here's the cord from the power unit right here. And you can see how the two ends aligned, thicker, thinner. These just plug right in, very simple. And then there's a little clip that clips over the top to keep them together, but obviously very easy to disconnect when you're moving the unit around. We'll put that off to the side, keep that clipped up. You need a remote control to operate this, and so we have the remote control with batteries on the inside. Very simple to put the batteries in there to get it to work. Put that off to the side here. And then we have a box with the legs. The Raven uses 4 different legs, and these just screw right in to the base. We'll do that in just a second. All the legs are the same, so very easy for you to put together. You don't have to differentiate one from the other. And then you have your manual and warranty information on the inside. And that's everything that's on the inside of this box right here. And then, as we mentioned, there was the mattress retaining bracket, which I already took off and disconnected from the zip tie that was there. And the quick setup guide that was also included. Assembly of the product is very simple. You have 4 legs that you screw into each corner of the power foundation. All the legs are the same length, so just start with one leg, thread it in. You already see that you have the threaded nut that's clipped into one of the 4 corners of the power foundation. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, if you forget how that works. And just hand tighten it. You don't need any special screws. And do that for all corners of the power base. Once you've secured all 4 legs into the corners of the power foundation unit, and that should take you just about 5 minutes, it's a good time to take stock of everything underneath to make sure that nothing was damaged during transit of your power foundation base. This is, of course, much easier to do when the bed is upside down than when it's right side up and you're trying to crawl underneath upside down to determine what's wrong with your power foundation unit. We can see right here, this is the brain, so everything plugs into this. You have your motors that drive the head of the unit right here. And then you have a cord connecting the motor that drives the foot of the unit right here. Then, of course, you have the cord coming out of it that goes to that power supply unit. And there's that quick disconnect or quick connect item that we already put together when it came out of the box from the unit itself. These motors themselves are very powerful, very torquey. On the Raven, they're 850-pound lift capacity rated motors. And this motor turns this bar in turn turns this lever attached to a wheel that pushes against this steel plate. You have one on the left and the right hand side. And that adjusts the head section up and down. In this case, this is the head section of the bed. And the same thing happens with this motor. Turns this bar. This bar again drives a lever attached to wheels that elevate the foot section of the power foundation unit. So just double check to make sure that nothing looks broken. Also check your head to toe rails on both the left and the right hand side of the power foundation unit. Once you've done an inspection and you're satisfied that everything looks good, you're going to want to flip the product over. Now, an important thing to note is that when you flip the product over, we'd like you to use two people to do this, because if you lean it over onto its side and then tip it over onto these legs, you can put quite a bit of torque on these legs and you can bend them or even break them off. So it's something that you generally want to pick up and flip over instead of just lean over onto its side. Now that I flipped the power foundation over, there's one thing I wanted to mention to you about repositioning any power base, and that is to not grasp the top deck network. These deck networks are free-floating gravity release systems, and that's a safety feature. And what you want to do is instead grasp the metal welded frame network that surrounds the product. That's the safe way to reposition or flip over any power foundation unit. Don't grasp the top wood deck network. Now on the Raven, you'll notice these two white strips right here. These are micro hook adapters, and this is a Leggett & Platt innovation, and it helps to stop the mattress from sliding off the foot of the product. Many people choose to use this instead of the mattress retaining bracket, although they still do supply this with the base. The mattress retaining bracket itself just fits into these two holes right here. I still like to use that even with the micro hook system. Now, if your mattress is encased in a PVC, plastic, or vinyl encasement, or if you're using a dust ruffle on top of your power deck, you need to make sure that you're using that mattress retaining bracket as a safety feature, because the micro hooks will not be able to grab into the bottom of the non-skid covering of your mattress if you're using that type of mattress encasement or a dust ruffle surrounding your power base itself. Now, once you have the power base flipped over, it's a good time to check the cord where you hooked on the power adapter to make sure that that's not wrapped around any of the frame network mechanism underneath the power base itself. If you have two of these power foundations from Leggett & Platt, you may communicate with one wireless remote control and operate them both simultaneously, especially if you have a king mattress and you have the two twin separate extra long bases underneath it. You want them to go up and down in tandem. And that's a very easy thing to do, and that's described in the aforementioned manual that comes with the product itself. Now, there are a few accessories that you can get with these. Most of them have to do with different leg heights. Now, it's a 7-inch leg height that comes standard with the base, but they have shorter ones, and they even have an adjustable glide to where you can make it taller. Obviously, the overall height is going to be determined by the thickness of the mattress that you place upon the product. Now, of course, the big thing with any power foundation is the actual operation. Now, the Raven, while it's one of the more basic items in the Leggett & Platt lineup, it does have two separate motors, so the head and the foot adjust independently. There's also a button so that they go up and down together. It's an 850-pound lift capacity motor, so it's a good strong motor. It's going to be normal with any power foundation for it to creak a little bit when you first adjust it up and down as some of the material stretches. That's the head and the foot adjusting up and down right there, or the head adjusting up and down. Foot section does the same thing. It'll lift up and obviously goes down. Then they have a unique button where the head and the foot will go up and down in tandem, and they'll go down in tandem. Then there's a one-button flat feature. Hit that, everything will go flat. And that's nice if you've been watching TV or reading in bed, then you just want to go to sleep and you like the bed flat, hit that button right there. There's also a flashlight button. Hold that down. I know I'm probably blinding you with the light right there. In a lighted bedroom, obviously it's not going to do much, but in the darkness it will actually be quite helpful. One other thing I wanted to show you was the maximum of the elevation of the head and the foot of the Raven. Right now they are adjusted to their top of the range of motion, and hit the one button flat feature and they'll go down back to normal. The warranty from Leggett & Platt on the Raven is a 1-3 25-year warranty. Now, power foundation warranties can be pretty convoluted, but to drill down to the basics, the first year covers parts and labor fully. Years 2 through 3 are going to cover parts fully. Years 4 through 25 are going to be prorated, covering the steel and the frame network underneath. So it's a good idea in your manual to take just a few minutes and read through the warranty and what that covers with any power foundation base. I'm Jeff Shire, America's Beducator, and this has been your Beducation on the Leggett & Platt Raven Power Foundation.